In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable Australian 20-cent coins you should be on the lookout for, including the 1969, 1980, 1981, 1996, and 2011 issues. We'll break down what makes these coins so special, the rare errors and varieties that drive collector demand, how much they can be worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up is the 1969 Australian 20-cent coin, a piece that looks completely ordinary at first glance, but has become one of the most talked about discoveries in modern Australian coin collecting, issued just a few years after Australia transitioned to decimal currency in 1966. The 1969 20-cent coin carries the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the iconic platypus on the reverse. Millions were struck for everyday circulation, which is exactly why so many people overlook this year without giving it a second thought. But hidden among those regular coins are extremely rare examples that have stunned collectors and auction houses alike. What makes certain 1969 20-cent coins so special is not the date alone, but a combination of factors such as minting errors, striking anomalies, and exceptional condition. Some examples were produced with dramatic off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, or die flaws that were never meant to leave the Royal Australian Mint. Others survived decades of circulation, yet somehow retained razor-sharp details, strong luster, and virtually no wear, placing them in the top tier of graded coins. These are the pieces that ignite bidding wars, because they are not just coins anymore. They are historical accidents frozen in metal. Collectors are especially drawn to the 1969 issue because it sits at a fascinating point in Australia's decimal history, when minting technology was still evolving and quality control was not as advanced as it is today. This created the perfect environment for rare varieties to slip through unnoticed. When one of these exceptional coins appears at auction, it represents more than just rarity. It represents a once-in-a-generation opportunity. That's why verified examples have achieved jaw-dropping results, with top-tier specimens commanding prices as high as $125,000. The most exciting part is that many of these coins were originally pulled from circulation, meaning they were once sitting in wallets, cash registers, or coin jars like any other 20-cent piece. This is what fuels the thrill for collectors and everyday people alike. The idea that an overlooked coin from 1969 could still be out there, waiting to be discovered. One small detail, one unusual strike, or one perfectly preserved surface can make all the difference between spare change and a life-changing find. Next up is the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin, a date that many people dismiss as ordinary, yet one that has quietly earned a legendary reputation among serious collectors. By 1980, the Australian decimal system was well established, and the 20-cent coin had become a familiar part of everyday life, featuring the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the instantly recognizable platypus on the reverse. This coin blended seamlessly into circulation, passing through millions of hands without a second thought. And that is exactly why its most extraordinary examples remained hidden for so long. What elevates certain 1980 20-cent coins into a completely different category is the presence of rare and dramatic minting errors combined with exceptionally high-grade survivors. During high-speed production runs, mistakes such as off-center strikes, multiple strikes, die cracks, and planchette flaws occasionally slip through quality control. These errors were never intended to reach the public, yet a small number did, and those are the coins that now command intense attention whenever they surface. To collectors, these flaws are not imperfections. They are proof of authenticity, scarcity, and the unpredictable nature of minting history. Condition plays an equally critical role. While most 1980 coins show heavy wear after decades of use, a tiny fraction survived in astonishing condition, retaining sharp detail, strong original luster, and clean surfaces. Coins that achieve elite professional grades become instant standouts, because they represent the very best examples of a year that most people assume is common. When rarity, error status, and pristine condition align in a single coin, the result is something truly extraordinary. The 1980 issue also carries historical importance as part of a period when minting volumes were high to meet circulation demand. Ironically, mass production increased the likelihood of unnoticed errors, while at the same time ensuring that truly exceptional pieces would be extremely hard to find later. This combination has made the 1980 20-cent coin a sleeper hit in the numismatic world, quietly underestimated until one of these remarkable examples appears at auction and shocks everyone watching. When such a coin finally comes to market, it creates a frenzy. Collectors, investors, and institutions all recognize that opportunities like this do not come around often. Verified examples with significant errors or top-tier grading have achieved breathtaking results, with prices soaring as high as $85,400. These sales don't just reflect the coin itself, they reflect the story, the rarity, and the knowledge that once it's gone, it may not be seen again for years. What makes the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin especially exciting is the possibility that more are still out there, overlooked in collections or forgotten in old change. It serves as a powerful reminder that even coins from seemingly ordinary years can hold extraordinary potential. Sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to look just a little closer. Next up, now let's move on to the 1981 Australian 20-cent coin, a piece that perfectly proves how an everyday coin can transform into a numismatic heavyweight when rarity, condition, and chance collide. To most people, the 1981 20-cent coin feels completely unremarkable. It carries the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the iconic platypus on the reverse, identical in appearance to countless other coins of the era. It circulated widely, was spent casually, and for decades sat unnoticed in pockets, tills, and jars. Yet hidden among those ordinary pieces are a handful of extraordinary examples that have rewritten what collectors thought they knew about this year. The true power of the 1981 issue lies in its anomalies. During production, coins were struck at immense speed, and under those conditions, errors could occur without immediate detection. Some 1981 20-cent coins display dramatic off-center strikes, striking misalignments, clipped planchettes, or visible die cracks that give each piece a completely unique fingerprint. These are not post-mint damage or wear. They are mint-created features that tell the story of a single moment when the machinery went slightly wrong. To collectors, these moments are priceless because they can never be recreated. Beyond errors, condition elevates the 1981 coin into elite territory. The vast majority of these coins show heavy circulation wear today, dull surfaces, and softened details. But an extremely small number survived in remarkable state, retaining crisp edges, strong luster, and near-perfect surfaces. When professionally graded at the highest levels, these coins become instant standouts, because they represent the absolute best of a year that was never expected to produce rarities. The competition to own such examples is intense. especially among collectors building top-ranking registry sets. The 1981 20-cent coin also benefits from timing. It sits in a transitional period where collectors often assume nothing special exists, which allowed exceptional pieces to remain undervalued for years. When one of these rare examples finally appears at auction, it catches the market off guard. Bidding accelerates rapidly as collectors realize they are not just buying a coin, but securing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This sudden realization is what drives prices into astonishing territory. Verified top-tier examples of the 1981 Australian 20-cent coin have achieved incredible results, with record prices reaching $80,000. These figures reflect far more than metal value. They represent rarity, history, and the fierce desire of collectors to own something that may not resurface again for decades. Each sale sends a powerful message through the numismatic community that even overlooked years can hold monumental surprises. Perhaps the most thrilling aspect of the 1981 20-cent coin is the lingering possibility that more are still waiting to be discovered. Because these coins circulated so heavily, there is always a chance that one exceptional example remains hidden in an old collection or forgotten stash of change. It stands as a reminder that knowledge is power in coin collecting, and that's sometimes the difference between spare change and a small fortune is simply knowing what to look for. Next up, now we come to the 1996 Australian 20-cent coin, a modern-era issue that has completely stunned collectors and rewritten expectations about how valuable a relatively recent coin can become. At first glance, a 1996 20-cent piece looks no different from the countless others still circulating today. It carries the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the iconic platypus on the reverse, a design Australians have seen for decades. Because it feels so modern, most people assume it can't possibly be rare or valuable. That assumption is exactly what allowed some of the most extraordinary examples of this year to remain hidden in plain sight. What makes certain 1996 20-cent coins so remarkable is the combination of extremely rare minting errors and unusually well-preserved condition. During large production runs, a small number of coins escape the mint with striking flaws such as off-center strikes, double strikes, die clashes, and other dramatic anomalies. These are not everyday defects, they are mint-created events that occurred in a split second and were never meant to reach circulation. Each one is unique and once identified and authenticated, it becomes a powerful attraction for collectors worldwide. Condition plays an even bigger role with a modern coin like this, because collectors expect abundance. Competition for the very best examples becomes fierce when one appears. A 1996 20-cent coin that survives in extraordinary condition, with full original luster, sharp detail, and flawless surfaces, stands out dramatically against the millions of worn or average pieces. When such a coin is professionally graded at the highest levels, it becomes a true modern rarity, often more difficult to obtain than much older coins. The shock factor of the 1996 issue is a huge part of its appeal. Many collectors grew up spending these coins, never imagining they could one day headline major auctions. When one of these exceptional examples appears, it challenges long-held beliefs about what is possible in decimal coinage. This surprise element fuels intense bidding, as collectors and investors recognize that opportunities like this do not come often, especially for a coin that still feels so recent. That is why top-tier examples of the 1996 Australian 20-cent coin have achieved breathtaking results, with confirmed sales reaching as high as prices reflect not just rarity, but the power of modern numismatics, where condition scarcity, and collector psychology combine to create extraordinary outcomes. Each record-breaking sale sends shockwaves through the collecting community, inspiring people to re-examine their own coins with fresh eyes. Perhaps the most exciting part of the 1996 20-cent coin story is the possibility that more discoveries are still waiting. Because these coins circulated widely and are still found in everyday change, the dream of uncovering a rare example feels tangible and real. It serves as a powerful reminder that in the world of coin collecting, age alone does not determine value. Sometimes the most unbelievable treasures are closer than anyone ever imagined. Next up, finally, let's take a closer look at the 2011 Australian 20-cent coin, a surprisingly valuable modern coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world. At first glance, it might seem impossible that a coin minted just over a decade ago could reach staggering auction prices. It carries the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the iconic platypus on the reverse, designs that have been part of Australia's decimal series for decades. Most people see it in everyday circulation and dismiss it as ordinary. But the truth is far more extraordinary. Certain 2011 20-cent coins have become some of the most sought-after modern rarities in the hobby. The allure of the 2011 issue lies in the combination of rare minting errors, limited production anomalies, and exceptional preservation. While the Royal Australian Mint produces millions of coins each year with remarkable consistency, a small number of pieces slip through with unusual strikes, off-center impressions, die clashes, or other subtle errors that make them instantly distinguishable to trained eyes. These anomalies are not mistakes that occurred after leaving the mint. They are original minting errors, frozen in time, that create a unique fingerprint for each coin. For collectors, these are far more than curiosities. They are highly desirable, tangible slices of history. Condition is another major factor. Because 2011 coins are still relatively modern, many remain in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, often preserved in rolls, mint sets, or private collections. When a coin combines a rare error with pristine quality, it becomes extraordinarily rare, commanding intense interest from collectors seeking modern, high-grade examples. The combination of scarcity, uniqueness, and perfect condition transforms what appears to be an everyday coin into a true treasure. The market reaction to such coins has been astonishing. Verified examples of the 2011 Australian 20-cent coin have sold for as much as a number that surprises many people given the coin's relatively recent origin. These figures are a reflection not of intrinsic metal value, but of rarity, collector demand, and the thrill of owning something that could easily have remained unnoticed. Each sale reinforces the idea that value in coin collecting is about far more than age. It's about scarcity, condition, and the story behind the coin. Perhaps the most exciting aspect of the 2011 20-cent coin is the possibility that more exceptional pieces are still out there, hidden in collections, piggy banks, or even in loose change waiting to be discovered. This makes the 2011 issue a constant source of excitement and speculation. In the numismatic world, it reminds collectors and casual enthusiasts alike that treasure can exist in even the most modern and seemingly ordinary coins, and that sometimes the next life-changing find is just one careful glance away.